I ruined my sister's wedding, and there's no fixing it.
Ah, dang it.
So, as the title says, I ruined my sister's wedding. It all happened yesterday, so I'm still very emotional about it and freaking out. My big sister's wedding was yesterday. I wore a pastel pink colored dress that we picked out together for me to wear about 8 months ago. By the way, this comes from Unusual Quantity 476, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/okstorytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Dakota.
And I'm Keon.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we'd do, so let us know what you would do in the comments. NOP says, 14 of us were supposed to be staying in a cottage the night before and get ready together the morning of. But my sister changed her mind a couple of days before and decided she just wanted the bridal party there, which I wasn't a part of. If we had all stayed as planned, then this wouldn't have happened, but it was her choice and I don't blame her at all. I'm just explaining what happened. Anyway, the 6 of us who were no longer staying at the cottage got separate hotel rooms nearby, and everyone was just meeting up at the ceremony with everyone else. The main part of the ceremony went fine, but my sister gave me a couple of dirty looks during it. Then, when it came to the pictures, I went to have one taken with my mom, but my sister started screaming at me because apparently, in a certain light, my dress looked white, so she said it'll look stupid in her wedding pictures. The dress she picked out for OP?
The dress you both picked out together.
I genuinely don't think it did, but I didn't say that. I just remembered her that she helped me pick it, and then I said I had another dress at the hotel I could change into. She didn't calm down, she just kept screaming in my face. Her now husband said to go get changed and that I'll be fine. So I apologized profusely and left. About an hour later, after I had changed into a black dress that I originally brought to wear for a meal plan for today, I went to the reception party. She had already had a couple of drinks and was dancing happily, but as soon as she saw me walk in, she went into a blind rage. She walked over screaming at me, grabbed me by my hair, and said that she didn't want me there, that I had already ruined her day, so why did I come back, and so on. So she ruined her day, to be clear.
It sounds like she's having a mental breakdown and ruining her own wedding.
Yeah, so she 100% ruined her own wedding, to be clear. I apologized again and again before quickly leaving because I didn't ever want to ruin her big day or make it even worse than I already had.
What did you do?
Count 1.
You existed?
You wore a pink dress that she picked out with you. Count 2. You came back after changing when you shouldn't have even had to change because she picked out the dress. I spent the rest of the day and night crying. She hasn't replied, and I don't want to keep messaging because she'll be on her honeymoon now, and I don't want to ruin that as well. But it's weird because I've never seen her like this. She's my best friend. She has been since I was a small child. I was born when she was 8, so I've always looked up to her. I feel like I've genuinely messed up big time, and I need advice on how to fix it when she gets home because I can't not have her in my life. She's my everything. Please help.
Yeah, it sounds like you have like a really twisted up relationship with her that's somehow wrapped up in your own self-worth.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure she's probably done stuff like this to you for a long time.
She probably has blamed a lot of things on you and made you think that everything was your fault when it wasn't.
Yeah, and you've developed some kind of Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah, I mean, she's gaslighting you. She's saying, it's your fault you ruined my wedding by wearing a pink dress, but not bringing up the fact that she picked out that dress.
Yeah, it's just like a oops. Oh, well, that's a small inconvenience. Not like you're wearing white, though, so I guess we'll just change your outfit.
Yeah.
But also your
Instead of pulling her hair.
Well, I know who's not going to my wedding.
Yeah. Competitive Bill says, you didn't mess up. You were very respectful and didn't even argue with her about changing. There's pent-up anger on her side, and she took it out on you, which was not right. She needs to apologize to you. You already apologized initially. Truthfully, I don't think it had anything to do with you directly. She just saw you as the easiest target to let out at, which is so wrong. OP says, so do you think she'll talk to me again once she's calmed down, if that is it? I don't feel like I need an apology from her, though. I just want to be back on talking terms again, you know? Do you think it might be pent-up anger from the stress of the wedding? OP, you deserve an apology. A real apology.
You gotta
Not
you
just
gotta
like, oh, we're
grab a
talking
shovel,
again.
and dig wherever you buried your self-respect.
Yeah.
And
Pick it up.
unearth that.
Fairies Are Real says, you don't feel like you need an apology from her? She attacked you and humiliated you in front of people over a dress she helped you choose. The girl has issues. I wouldn't want that in my life. Why the heck are you apologizing? OP says, yeah, but she's my big sister. She wouldn't have meant to do it. She's not normally like this. We're best friends. Mamaru says, people treat you how you allow them to. If you show them that you are someone they can walk all over and be horrible to, and you'll just get over it, that is what will keep happening. You didn't ruin anything. She chose the pink dress herself. She yelled at you, humiliated you, then physically assaulted you. If you let that go without some sort of an apology, the person you are really hurting is yourself. If you don't respect yourself, others are going to think that they don't have to respect you either. OP says, yeah, after writing back to a couple of comments where I'm defending her, I'm realizing she probably just overreacted and it wasn't actually my fault. It was probably just the stress of the wedding and everything, but I do respect myself. I just don't think it's necessary for an apology offer. It was her special day, you know. I don't care if it's, freaking birth of Jesus. No one has a
and
right.
that happened in a manger.
Yeah. I don't care.
That was a relaxed affair.
Yeah. This is not okay. Not okay. Uptown Lurker says she may need a target for her feelings and it may continue to be you for a while. It can be difficult for people to admit they were being completely unreasonable, which she was. Just know you didn't do anything wrong. I know her anger and you feeling like you're the cause of her day being ruined is hurting you. Her wedding wasn't ruined either. It's fine. Where are your parents in all this? OP says, I hope you're right, honestly. It was supposed to be the perfect day for her. I helped her plan and pay for so much of it, and my mom said she doesn't want to get involved because I should have known better than to go to the reception after getting changed, because it's common sense to know that she would still be angry with me, especially after she'd had a drink, which I agree it was pretty stupid and selfish of me. Girl, what?
She's believing it.
Her husband specifically said, hey, can you go change? If he didn't want you to come back, if they didn't want you to come back, they wouldn't have said go change. They would have said don't come back to the wedding. What are you talking about? Who are these people? Single Cow says she grabbed you by the hair and essentially dragged you out of the reception. Her overreaction to the pink dress is one thing, but this borders on a harmful act. You did everything you could in the moment to fix things. You apologized profusely. Nothing more you can do here. Her behavior was completely out of line. Does she always treat you this way? Like your gum she just scraped off her shoe? I realize it's easier said than done, but if it was me, I wouldn't be speaking to her again until I got an apology. But I also wouldn't hold my breath waiting for one. She may be older, but that doesn't give her the right to push you around. Not okay. You did not ruin her day. She did that all on her own. And OP says, no, she never treats me this way. That's why I know it was a bad mess up. The only times we've argued or anything in the past is when I've just been oversensitive about something she said.
Just such like a red flag. You're like, the only time we've argued in the past is when she hurt my feelings and I let her know. And then she was like, you're wrong.
Yeah. OP's literally said, like the way she's phrasing it. Yeah. I was oversensitive about what she said.
Yeah, you're in the cycle of an abusive relationship with your sister.
But it's never shouting and screaming, and it's definitely never got physical, ever. Pretty Mention says, what was the last thing you were overly sensitive about? Because this just sounds like manipulation to me. OP says, I don't remember the last thing, but it's normally just sibling-type insults, like making fun of my weight and things like that.
Things like that? What?
OP.
Ooh.
OP. Huh? It's nothing serious, just mean jokes that I take to heart instead of laughing off like a normal person. Oh, OP. Oh, OP.
I don't think she's joking. She's not really joking when she says that stuff.
You're so, like, in it. You're so caught up in it, you know? Like, you don't get that your sister is bullying you, and it's not okay, and it's not normal sibling things.
And again, it's because it's.
I mean, just like, she keeps blaming herself. Like, she said, I was overly sensitive. She just said, instead of laughing it off like a normal person, I take it to heart.
Because she looks up to her older sister, and she's like, oh, yeah, that's okay.
Also, 8 years older.
Oh. man.
Act like an adult. Come on. 4 days later. For anyone who was interested, I didn't ruin her wedding. At least not in any way that I could have stopped. We all knew that. We've been telling you that, girl. Apparently, she's always hated me from the moment I was born. I am so sorry to say, but that was apparent. And that really sucks. But yeah, that was super apparent from this story.
And it's super apparent your parents
Suck.
failed you.
Yes.
Failed both of you.
Yep.
How could they just like co-sign on that behavior and never correct it?
The only reason she was always spending so much time with me was because my mother was asking her to for family. So basically, my dad left before I was born. I never asked about him because the way I always saw it was if he loved me, he'd be here. But my sister blamed me for him leaving. He didn't want any more kids after my sister. And my mom doesn't believe in pregnancy terminations, so when she got pregnant, he gave her a choice and then he left. My mom told my sister the reason he left was because he didn't want me. Why are you...
Your parents are failures. They failed you so hard. They
Both your
failed
parents
you real
suck.
bad.
They really, really suck.
Oh.
I've spoken to my mom. She said it was a heat-of-the-moment comment, and she didn't think my sister would hold on to it.
Hey, stupid, go fix it. Go say, you know what? It's my fault for not understanding how contraceptives work. It's my fault.
By the way, you can listen to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. But there is a little bit left to this story.
Crazy
Oh,
work
boy.
on your
Oh,
mom
boy.
to, I don't know, make her getting pregnant with her husband who had said, also just crazy all around.
Yeah,
Your parents were bad at it.
they're bad. I also had some problems with my hotel room. I booked for 4 days, but the night after the wedding, a worker came to ask me when I'll be leaving the room because there's other guests needing it. I explained that I booked for 4 days. They said I rang them and canceled the remainder of my stay, which I didn't, so I had to get a different room. It was my sister playing a prank. Prank caused her to go on her honeymoon alone. Her husband rang me yesterday telling me everything about why she off about the hotel and said he's looking into getting an annulment because she's not the person he thought she was. So, yeah, that's basically it.
I bet you
Nice.
she'll blame you for that one,
Yeah, she's like,
too.
my husband left because of you.
Yeah, I hope you genuinely never have to talk to your sister again and you
Yeah.
find
No contact
beautiful friendships and relationships
with anyone
others.
else. Anti-programming says, I read your post. I saw no fault in your dress or reaction whatsoever. Your sister was aware of your dress, so you don't need to take blame on that. Honestly, she'll resent you for this, but there was nothing you could have done. Her now ex-husband knows what's going on, and that's why he ended things with her. So you helped him in a way by showing him who your sister truly is. She dug her grave. Successful B says, damn well, at least she wasted no time showing her true colors for soon-to-be ex-brother-in-law's annulment.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Was it during the honeymoon or right after the honeymoon?
Seems like right
Immediately.
in the honeymoon.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I refused to fix my mother's relationship with my sister, and now I'm the villain.
I can't do everything.
There's a trigger warning here for substance use disorder. I am the middle of 3 girls and am what you'd call the typical middle child. I'm the one always trying to solve problems and find middle ground when my family fights, and there have been some huge ones. By the way, this comes from user Lorana Pastius, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/okstorytime subreddit. I'm Dakota,
I'm Sophia.
And I'm Keon.
and we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we would do. So if you would do something different, let us know in the comments, as OP says. My parents are divorced, and at first they co-parented unhealthily, but later on when my dad started dating, everything fell apart. My mom, while engaged and living with her fiancé, felt it was inappropriate that my dad let his girlfriend, now wife, live with him. She thought it was indecent because me and my younger sister were still in school and lived with him. This caused my family to go through a giant upheaval for around a decade where my stepmom and mother were constantly fighting, dragging the kids into the middle of it while my dad just kind of held up his hands saying, come on, guys.
Come on, guys.
Come on. Can we all just get along?
Why can't we be friends?
During this, my need to fix things was at its max, which inevitably resulted in me being yelled at and berated on all sides. It took me years to figure out ways of managing all the stress from this. However, the one that had the hardest time was my sister. She started sneaking out of the house, drinking and otherwise partying. Since the adults were too busy fighting and hating each other, they didn't have time to notice her falling apart. At the time, I was in college and no longer living at home, so I wasn't able to see how things were for her, and she was afraid of being scolded, so she didn't tell me. Years later, she had a severe drinking problem. I won't go into details of how bad it was for her, but I'll just say her and her husband made the same combined income as my husband and I, but they were always broke. So I figured maybe they had some budgeting issues and offered to help her sort through her finances. And that's when I found out they were spending nearly half their income on booze.
Yeah. I feel like once you get stuck in that, it's hard to get out.
I was terrified. I reached out to both of my parents for help on how to talk to her about it, but they both downplayed it. My dad, in his typical joke about important things manner, said, well, she's not a heavy drinker if she's not going to meetings. What? What does that mean? What? While my mom outright refused the idea that her perfect precious baby could have any issues. Instead, she blamed it on my sister's husband, claiming he must be the one spending the money, even though my sister flat out told me it was her. Cut to years later, my trying to help her caused her to pull away. She was embarrassed, knew what she was doing was wrong, and didn't want me to see it. Her relationship with my dad started to deteriorate, which my mom was all for. My mom got excited whenever I talked to her about things falling apart and claimed, when you finally cut your father off, he'll see the light and leave that woman, then things with him and your sister will get better. It was nonsense. Yes, my sister didn't like my stepmom, and yes, she and my dad had issues, but us kids going no contact with him wouldn't fix anything. Then it happened. My sister actually went no contact with my dad. For about a year, I was thrown back in the middle. My dad and stepmom asking me constantly why she cut them off. Me telling them I don't want to be in the middle. My mom saying my sister's doing the right thing and I need to do the same. I was stressed and miserable. I started ignoring phone calls from my dad and recording diary-like crying messages on my phone to myself. But then something happened. My sister almost passed away from her drinking. She ended up in the hospital for a week, and afterwards, she quit drinking completely. It wasn't the first time she had tried, but this time it stuck.
Yay.
Good.
That's good. Really tough.
Need a little NDE
Yeah.
to get the juices going,
Mm-hmm.
saying, oh, that can't happen anymore. She has now been sober for 3 years. And after she got sober, she apologized to me for everything. Things took a big change. She started talking to my dad and stepmom again, and we even had a great visit, just me, her, and my youngest child. However, at the same time, my mom wasn't happy. She felt my sister was pulling away from her, which was true. My sister realized every time she talked to my mom, she ended up more stressed, her heart rate up, and her anxiety up. So she started pulling back. The more she pulled back, the more anxious my mom got, and she dumped those emotions onto me. Your sister needs help. She's pulling away from everyone. This isn't healthy. Hey, Mom, you're not actually everyone. You're one person.
Yeah. You're one person. She has a complicated relationship with you. What is OP gonna do? Genuinely, what do you expect OP to do?
I told her that my relationship with my sister hadn't been this good in years and that my sister was sober and working on her mental health. I was proud of her, but things just got worse. They had a small fight, and once again, instead of admitting fault or trying to see from anyone else's perspective, my mom put the blame of their fight on me.
How does she even work that one out? You're not even there.
She told my sister she only felt that way because I manipulated her, and by extension, my stepmom manipulated me. My sister had had enough of that and cut contact.
Good.
Over the next year, my mom tried everything to get me to fix her relationship with my sister. She didn't outwardly blame me for their falling out, but did say it was my job to mend it. She even came to visit me the first time in 2 years, by the way. But after learning my sister wouldn't come, she shut down and quit engaging with me for anything meaningful. I realized I was just a conduit to my sister. I always knew I wasn't my parents' favorite. My dad liked my eldest sister better, and my mom loved my youngest, but this still hurt. After that, I pulled back from my mom, too.
I think you have to. She keeps blaming things on you. Like, you
Indeed.
can't have a relationship with someone who, like, everything that goes wrong in their life is your fault.
When it's like acutely their own
Yeah.
fault as well. So I pulled back from my mom, too. I call on holidays and about once a month to check in, but when "how are you" is met with "horrible, I'm depressed, my kids hate me, and you don't care enough to help me," I kind of had to slow that down too. Then a few weeks ago, it happened. My mom's birthday was coming up, and she suddenly messaged me at 11 at night with a sarcastic message about not sharing a video on Facebook. I was confused, but looked at the video, and it was some clickbaity thing about loving moms and how they need love too. I was like, oh yeah, I don't really use Facebook for stuff like that. I only post pics of the kids to keep family that lives far away updated. And she went off, paragraph after paragraph, yelling at me. At the end, she said she no longer had 3 kids, just 1, and no longer had 5 grandkids, just 2, my older sisters.
Dang, she cut a lot of people off in one go.
I hope you're ready for the consequences of your actions, Mom. I was freaked out, but it was late on a school night, so I suggested we just talk about this the next day. However, the next day, I found one more message saying I chose this by not helping to fix things with my sister, and then she blocked me everywhere. To be fair, I did choose not to help to fix things, but I didn't do that to hurt her, and I've explained why I did multiple times. 1, it's not my place. Over the years, every time I play middleman, I'm the one that end up hurt. I've never successfully fixed anything and just end up as the punching bag everyone uses to vent their frustrations. And 2, I understand my sister's perspective. My mom has a very unhealthy codependent relationship with my sister. She wants to be involved in every decision my sister makes, and she can be very intense. I understand that my sister is working on her mental health and can't handle my mom. I'm trying to right this as fair as I can, but don't think I'm perfect in this, especially in my younger years. Yes, I was a child in high school, but still, I was highly emotional and would cry and yell to get my point across. You were a teenager in high school.
Again, your mom is, not a good mom, and she's putting a lot of this, like, mental burden on her daughters to distract from her failings as a parent.
Exactly. Now, after realizing how easy it was for my mom to cut me and my kids out of her life, it just really hurts. It feels like I never really mattered, like my kids never really mattered. In the end, this is probably just another manipulation. She's thinking I'll get so upset that I'll do what she wants, but I won't. And my sister won't fall for it either. But by the way, you can fall in love with all the full episodes with stories like this you can listen to on your favorite podcast platform, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen. Just search OK Storytime, and you can listen until your ears fall off.
Oh, well, we hope they don't, though.
Don't do that.
It hasn't happened yet, but there has to
We
be a
haven't
first
had
time.
any complaints.
We do have a little bit more story left. I think we all know how we feel. Let's finish this story.
Yeah.
In fact, when I showed her my mom's messages, my sister only reaffirmed her choice and became extremely angry that mom would do this. In the end, I don't want to see my sister fall apart again. My mom might like it when my sister is a mess because she's more obedient to her, but I don't. I don't want to get that phone call from the hospital again, and I'm proud of her for her sobriety. Thanks, OKOP fam, for listening. So this is more for me to vent than seeking advice, but since I listen to OK Storytime every day and love the community here, I thought I'd scream into the collective and hear your opinions. It's a bit long, so I apologize in advance. Don't you worry.
Don't you worry
And that
about
is the end of that story. Yeah.
I-
Congrats on your sister's sobriety.
Agreed. And
Your
I feel
mom's
like
trash for not like immediately, I don't know, being more
supporting
concerned about
her.
her well-being versus like winning against your dad.
Well, I feel like, you don't want to put your sister's sobriety at risk. And I feel like your mom does that by inciting arguments and all of that jazz. So I feel like just creating that boundary with your mom, maybe no contact, is the best way to go. Or at least maybe, I don't know if you said you were going no contact, but at the very least, much lower contact.
Indeed.
Yeah. My mother's boyfriend wants to control my life, so I called my brothers.
Call up the broskies.
Trigger warning for verbal abuse. So I, 16 male, lost my dad at Christmas time in 2024 last year. And in the last few months, my mom has been seeing this man I really don't like. He refuses to speak when my mom isn't home. He won't let me eat in the same room as him. I have to use my bedroom's bathroom, and not the one upstairs or the one downstairs, just my bathroom only. He also refuses to let me do my laundry and dry my clothes at the same time as him. By the way, this comes from SwimFast00, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/okstorytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Dakota.
And I'm Keon. What's
And
up?
we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we do, so let us know what you would do in the comments.
What's up?
Yeah, what's up?
What's up?
And OP says, anyways, today I got home from the pool after swimming a few laps, and when I got through the door, he was waiting for me. Scary. He basically, in a nutshell, said, you spend too much time away from home. You aren't supposed to be this independent at 16. I'm going to have to put new locks on these doors to stop you from going out. But the thing is, I only really leave the house early in the morning and late in the afternoon, usually around 6 to 8 p.m. or 7 to 9 a.m. because I'm a swimmer, and that's when I practice and train. I am always very careful to not make too much noise when I'm leaving, and I make sure to shower at the pool since he doesn't like the sound of running water in the morning,
What?
and he doesn't like the smell of chlorine.
What? Who is this
So no
guy?
one's allowed to take showers in the morning?
I hate
That's
the
when I
sound
take
of-
showers.
I hate the sound of running water in the morning.
So he hates rain? Does he yell at the sky when it starts raining?
He's like,
I
no,
hate the sound of running water.
no water before 8 a.m. or it's over for you.
So I replied to him saying, basically, both these things I've written about in the past aren't exactly word for word. It all happened really quickly. I don't care what you think. Dad used to take me wherever I wanted, whenever I wanted, no matter what he thought I was doing. And you can't even be bothered to cook me dinner. You don't care about me or Mom. He got really mad and started screaming at me for being disrespectful and rude. I'm really upset about it because I've got bad anxiety, and this shouting and yelling has scared me quite a bit. My mom just got home, and I would have gone down to talk to her, but I can still hear him talking, so I don't want to disturb their conversation. I feel really bad about what I said, but at the same time, my mom works 2 jobs. I work 1 part-time job, and he also works a part-time job. But the thing is, I help Mom with whatever money I get.
Wait, this guy's not even working full time?
He's not even working full-time.
No wonder
You're
he has-
working
Yeah.
and doing all of this other stuff and going to school, and then have to deal with his, verbal attacks. I buy groceries and try to help keep food in the house. If something breaks, I pay for the replacement or else someone to come to fix it. I take care of buying toiletries as well. This is not okay.
You're 16.
You're 16. I do want to say, I know that there are situations where, minors or, teenagers will have to help out financially. However, that shouldn't, if you can prevent that or avoid it, you should not be making your minor child help pay for groceries or paying for, replacements in the house. You shouldn't be doing that. He should, the stepdad should have a full-time job.
Yeah.
If they can't afford to live in this house without making their minor child pay for things.
Yeah, this guy's talking about changing the locks on the door. What, am I going to have to buy those too?
Yeah. While he is a fully grown man, he will make me pay for the family takeout when we order a Chinese or a chippy. Despite me paying, I've never even gotten to eat my food at the table with my mom and him.
This is insane.
This is crazy. This is crazy.
This is crazy.
I've got 2 older brothers, but they both live far away now. I'm the youngest, and they only really come home for birthdays. They also came home in July for a big swim meet I had. My mom's boyfriend is usually a lot nicer in front of them. The first and only time he's ever been to my swim meet was when my brothers went, and after they left, he told me he'd never go again. I really miss my brothers because they really helped me out in a tough time. But I don't like calling or texting them because I don't want them to be stressed or worried about me. What do I do? Call or text your brothers. If your mom is doing nothing and your stepdad's being a jerk
I'm
and an
getting-
a-hole.
I'm getting an impression that your mom doesn't know.
Well, yeah,
that
tell
this
your
how
mom.
he's acting.
First of all, tell your mom. If she does nothing, tell your
Yeah.
brothers.
And,
Because this is unacceptable behavior.
get like a
Well,
get
there's
some
no
kind
way
of
that
evidence for it too, because it really feels like
There's no way that
if she would
can't
be with this
know.
guy in the first place, she feels like the kind of person who might just like not listen about
Yeah.
whatever's wrong with him if there's no concrete proof. So like, I don't know, try to next time he's like shouting at you or telling you,
Yeah.
she's got to know you can't even eat at the table with them. That's
Yeah.
insane that
That's
she
the
would
thing. She has to know
sign
that.
off on that.
She has to know that OP is paying for all of this stuff. I feel like the mom is not going to be, someone that OP can rely on here.
Get some stuff recorded and
Yeah.
then, call your brothers.
Call your brothers. And there is an update. So, as you all know from my last post, I am really upset about the whole situation. After I posted that, I texted my 2 older brothers, who are both in their 20s, and they're going to surprise visit tonight. They're going to be staying over for a few days. In the meantime, I'm going to take the advice I was given by some people. Thank you so much for all the help. I'm going to start voice recording every time he starts to get all mean and nasty and rude with me. It's been very tense and hostile all morning. Once again, it is just me and him, and my mom is away at work as usual. I woke up at 6 to go do some swim training, and when I got back around 8:15 or so, he was coming down the stairs out of bed. He gave me a very nasty look and told me to get out of his sight and have a shower because I apparently stunk of pool water and chlorine. I shower literally after every swim I do with body wash and shampoo. Anyways, I had my shower, and after my shower, I was laying in my room. He knocked on the door, which was really unusual. He doesn't really ever come into my room unless I've done something to really annoy him. In fact, he straight up avoids my room at all costs most of the time. He sat down on the edge of my bed and he started talking about how, when he was a young man like me, he wouldn't be wasting time laying in bed all day, sulking over some man, referring to my dad,
Some man
who
is
passed away
wild.
last Christmas. Wow.
I would literally be like, you know what? I'm gonna go tell my
Bop, bop.
mom. I'm telling my mom.
Wow. I just sat there and took it because I was too scared to stand up for myself. Anyways, I'm quite annoyed now because I didn't get a voice recording of it. Also because he has no right to talk about my dad like that. I can't wait for my brothers to come home, but at the same time, I'm worried about what could happen. And there is a second update.
I hope they toss him into the nearest
Yeah.
body of water.
Yeah, you need to tell your brothers now. Now, get out of there if you can. Hopefully your brothers take you out of there. Update 2. So basically, my brothers got here and told me to pack my bags while they spoke to Mom. Yes. Yes. Brothers for the win.
Get out of there.
When I was packing my bags, I could hear lots of shouting because the boyfriend came home from the cafe. I don't know what went down exactly because I was very anxious and didn't want to go downstairs out of my room. Anyways, my bags were finished being packed, and altogether I had 2 suitcases and 3 backpacks. I know it's a lot, but I didn't know where I was going or how long I'd be staying. No, I don't think that's a lot. Take all of your stuff. Get out of there.
Just be fully moved out. Because if your mom's like signing off on this,
Yeah. They're probably going to
it's
throw all your stuff out.
unacceptable.
One of my brothers came up to my room and told me to start bringing my stuff out to the car. So, of course, I brought all my stuff out and put it into my brother's boot. It took about 3 trips up and down the stairs. When I was walking through the hallway past the living room door, all I saw was my older brother holding my mom's hand and her boyfriend sitting on the sofa shouting, "I didn't do that. He's a filthy little liar." And a few other words which I won't be saying here. I was really sad seeing my family so crazy and fighting. When I was putting my stuff in the car, all I heard was more shouting and my mom crying, but it was pretty muffled. I don't know what went down because my brother, that was helping me out to the car with my stuff, kept talking to me, telling me not to listen and to just be calm and that I'd be all right. Good brothers. 10 out of 10 brothers. As I was getting into the car, my brother came out with my mom and she was crying, and the boyfriend wasn't anywhere nearby. So I got out and hugged her. She started crying even more, and she just said she was so sorry. One of my brothers said that sorry wouldn't cut it, and so with that, I was really shaken up. I don't like to think that my mom has taken her boyfriend's side or that she said something about me, but to be honest, I'm really upset and really shocked at the whole thing. I didn't expect to literally move out of my own house I've lived in my whole life in the matter of an hour. When we were leaving in the car, my mom's boyfriend kept messaging me and my mom kept calling me, but I was told not to answer or look at my messages. Before my brother took my phone off me, all I read was, "You little effer, you're bad and I effing despise you, little crap."
And then you send that to your mom.
Yeah, and you say, "Yeah, Mom, you're fine with this? You're fine with this?" That really scares me because I didn't think it would all come down to this. But it is coming down to the fact that you can listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. There is a little bit left to this story, but do you have any final thoughts?
Yeah, these kind of situations can cause long-lasting and sometimes irreparable damage between you and your children.
Yeah.
When you decide to be with a partner who is outright abusive to them
Yeah.
and do nothing to temper it other than just kind of like, shaking your head, you're doing nothing.
You're doing nothing. You're
And-
not helping your kid.
By staying with that person, you are just like tacitly admitting, I care more about this person's feelings and perceptions towards me than I care about the well-being of my own child. And that is not a wound that heals very easily.
No. Yeah. Mom's not going to have the same relationship ever again with her son. And she's seemingly lost all of the relationships with her sons because of this stepdad. It's been a few days now, but I'm staying with my brothers at one of their places, and I even have a dog now. I really miss my mom, and I want to talk to her and see her, but I know it's probably the best thing for my brothers to do to take me out of the situation. I'm sure it will all work out soon. Also, thanks for everyone's help and advice. I feel like it would have only gotten worse if I had stayed with my mom and her boyfriend, but my brothers are dealing with the situation, and hopefully it all gets resolved and the boyfriend leaves. And that is the end of that story, folks. Dang. Good luck, OP. I'm glad that your brothers are taking care of you.